Okay, I'm going to admit that I'm actually more than 20 years old. I know that some of you are probably thinking, why is he so weird, using a kid's app to post his videos? I promise that I will tell you the reason why one day. But even though I am an adult, I've also got to say that there are still a couple of things that I need to learn before I would truly be considered an adult. Let me tell you what I found out. When I went with my cousins to go traveling anywhere, back then they were okay when I would ask my parents for some money before I would go with them. But because I'm an adult, they didn't want me to either ask them or my parents for money to buy stuff I wanted. Instead, they told me that everything that I own, including my money, is no longer my parents' or my cousins' responsibility. They are all now part of my responsibility. It's a good thing I earned some money from my allowance, but later on, I would need to get a job in order to earn that stuff for myself. After I learned about how what I own is part of my responsibility, I went home with one of my cousins to get everything I needed before we started going to downtown Toronto to experience how life is like there. I've got to say, that trip with my cousins in downtown Toronto is pretty much the best moment I have this year. Anyways, another thing that I learned later on is that because I'm an adult, I don't need to rely on anyone to make decisions for me. I now make my own decisions about what I want to do or where I want to go. That right there is one of the things that I had to learn if I wanted to be independent. Because of that, I didn't need to ask anyone what time should I go home when I'm done spending time with my cousins. Instead, I made up my own decision for what time I wanted to come back home. Because of that, I was able to have a little more fun with my cousins by exercising and shopping together before I thought that it was time for me to go home. There are some more things I think I need to learn, but at least knowing the two things that I just talked about will help me to get to this goal where I can finally move to my own house one day. If you enjoyed listening to what I was talking about, please like this video, subscribe to my channel while clicking on the bell.